Okay, welcome to lab. In this week's lab, we're going to be creating a survey in Google Forms. So you'll be putting all the materials that you've made so far, your APA materials, like your informed consent and your debriefing and your demographics, all of that, into this survey. And you will also be putting your questionnaire and then the measure for your second variable, if that was a questionnaire or a single demographic question. You'll be putting that in here as well. And so then once we complete the survey, you'll send me the link, and I will be sending the link off to professors to give to their intro to psych classes. Soon we'll make a couple more edits before we do that, but that is what we are working towards. So let's go ahead and learn how to create our surveys in Google Forms. Okay, so we want to click on Go to Google Forms. And then we are going to click blank to start a new survey. And we're just going to go ahead and X out of this pop-up, and your screen should look like this. In order for everyone in the group to work on the same survey, someone in the group is going to have to start the survey and give the other group members access. And you can do that by clicking on the triple dots and then add collaborators. This box will pop up, and then you'll just add all of your group members' emails and click done. And then that should send them a little email inviting them to come edit the survey. Alternatively, if you want to go a different route, you can copy the link and email it to your group members that way. So whatever's faster, and then click done. So the next step is to create the sections. Each group member is going to work on the section that they were assigned in the APA materials assignment. And so if you wrote the informed consent, that's the section that you'll be assigned here. You'll also need someone to volunteer to enter in all the items for the questionnaire for your first variable, and then also your second variable's measure will need to be entered in to this survey as well. Okay, so one of the group members is going to need to start by titling the survey. So I'm just going to put example survey, but you'll put the title of your entire survey. And then you just want to click in the form description box and type a little note to click next to begin the survey. So this is going to make like our title page, and so we're actually going to delete this first section for a question here. And then what we are going to do is begin adding our sections, and so we're going to come all the way down to this equal sign and click on that, and a new section will pop up. You can see it says section 2 of 2 in the little purple tab there. And the first section is going to be our informed consent, so I'm just going to go ahead and label that informed consent. Click on the equal sign again. You can see section 3 of 3. And then I'm going to label this next section demographics. Click on the equal sign. Label this next section instructions. And click on the equal sign. We're going to label this section questionnaire. And then the next section is going to be the debriefing. Click on the equal sign one more time, and this final section is going to be the participant verification. So then you can just kind of click off of that and scroll up to check and make sure your page looks just like mine. All right, so after a group member has added all the sections and added the collaborators, the other group members can begin entering in their APA materials. And so the first one that we're going to look at is the informed consent. So whoever was responsible for the informed consent needs to get their copy of that and then input that information here. Okay, so you just want to go to where it says informed consent and then click on the description box, and you'll know which box you're working on because you'll see that little blue bar on the left of the section. And so in that description, you type in, or you could just copy and paste from your informed consent onto that description. So you put your verbiage there, and then you just click on that plus sign and the drop down arrow, click check boxes, and then you can come over here and tell the participant to check the box below to agree to participate, that they're over 18. And if they don't, then they can just kind of click out or X out to end the survey. And so then I'm going to click on option 1 and type in my statement. I am 18 years or older and agree to participate. Then I'm going to come down to this bottom right corner and click the required tab. And now I want to take a look and see how it looks so far. So I'm going to come up here to the eyeball. And there it is. Click next. And there's my informed consent. You can see it says required. So if I just click next without checking the box, it won't let me proceed. But I check the box, click next, and I'm on to the next section. Okay, so the person responsible for the demographics will need to go to the plus sign in the bar over here, and then they can begin entering in their demographic questions. I'm going to start with what is your gender, and I am going to enter man, woman, non-binary, and self-described. And then I'm going to require that question. And add my next demographic question by clicking the add button on the bar. And my next question is, what is your age? So I'm going to change that to a short answer so the person can just type in the number. And I'm going to click required on that one as well. Add another question. This one's going to be, what is your ethnicity? I'm just going to leave the response option as multiple choice. And then I'm going to put in all my options: white, black, Hispanic, Asian Pacific Islander, and then I'm also going to click on add other, and that gives me an other option where people can fill in a response. Click required. So if one of your variables is being measured by a single demographic question, make sure you do go ahead and add it to your demographic questions here. Let's take a look at it. There's my informed consent that we just did. And here's our demographics section. So notice how my title, example surveys on the top, and then demographics in that purple bar. Since I required the questions, I can't go on without answering each one. And if the person selects other, there's a line for them to enter in how they identify as their ethnicity, and it's a required question as well. So this section looks good. All right, the next section is instructions, and this is where you put the instructions for your questionnaire. So the person responsible for this section just needs to copy and paste right into this description box the verbiage that they wrote for the instructions. take a look, click on the eyeball. You can get a preview our title page, informed consent, demographics, and here's our instructions. Alright, so whoever is going to volunteer to enter the items in for the questionnaire is going to do this section. If you have one questionnaire, you're going to put all the items in the same order that they appear on your key. If you have two questionnaires to enter, you're going to include both in this same section, but again, put the items into Google Forms in the same order they appear on your key. We will randomize them all at the end, so both questionnaire items will mix together. But for now, you just want to enter them as they appear on your key, the order they appear in your key. You do not want to include any of the numbers or the coding, so you don't put item, number 1 or reverse coded or irrelevant or any of that information. That's just for your key. All the participants see are the items and then the response options. So to begin adding in the items for your first questionnaire, you're just going to go over to the add sign on the bar on the right, click it, and then in the drop-down menu, click linear scale. And then you can change the anchors to strongly disagree for 1 and strongly agree for 5. And it will just automatically generate the rest of the points on the scale. And so then you can change the points on the scale by clicking the drop down, so you can enter 7 or 9 for the max, or change the number, to whatever you want. But for a Likert, it needs to be 1 through 5, 1 through 7, or 1 through 9. Then you just put the item in without any of the coding. And then you want to go ahead and require that question. And if we want to take a look at it, we just click on the eyeball. And then we can see. So you are going to want to put in all the items from your key for questionnaire 1, and then all the items from your key for questionnaire 2 in the same questionnaire section. This is how it will look, plus all your other items, of course. Participant can click on the number and then next. Okay, so the person that did the debriefing will just need to copy and paste their verbiage into this description box. And when they finish, they can just click on the eyeball to get a preview and make sure everything looks exactly how they want it. And there it is. The next section is the participant verification section. So this one is a little tricky. If we just entered in our verbiage into the description, the participant would just be able to take a picture of the verification before clicking submit. And in the past, this has caused us to lose a lot of data because people just click out before clicking submit. So to avoid that, we have to do kind of a workaround. So what we are going to do is we are going to tell the people to click submit, and that is going to take them to a confirmation message that is going to contain a link that they will click on. And when they click on the link, they will get the unique participant verification page for your group. So go ahead and tell them to click submit to get their participant verification. So what we're going to have to do is create a Google Doc. So you can come up here and click on the forms icon, the triple lines, and then docs. And you can just click on the plus sign that says blank. That'll give you a new blank document. Or if your docs page looks like mine, you can click on the add symbol on the bottom right, and that will bring up a new blank page. So what we're going to do is enter the participant verification information that you wrote for the APA material assignment. You can just go ahead and put it in here. So you want to remember to thank the participant and let them know to screenshot or take a picture of this page in the event their instructor is offering extra credit. This is like the one place in our survey where we can get kind of creative, and so I like to add a little picture. Just go to Google Images. I'm going to search thank you GIF. Click on images. This one will do. Right click and then copy image address. Click on the little picture in Google Docs and URL, paste and insert. And then to be in compliance with the psychology department, we have to enter in the semester and then the title of our survey and the class that you're in, Psych 201-02, for example. And then we're going to click share, save it, and then change to anyone with the link. Copy that link. Click done. And then we're going to head back over to Google Forms. We're going to come up to the gear. And we're going to click on the middle tab, Presentation. We're going to click off of the show link to submit another response. And we're going to click Shuffle Question Order. It's going to combine all our items, mix them up. And then in the confirmation message, we're going to say click the link below for the participant verification page. And then we're going to go ahead and paste that link we just copied from Google Docs. And click Save. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. You can see now that the questions are all jumbled up. They're not in the order we entered them. And so there's the participant verification. They have to click submit before getting the actual participant verification. And then they can go ahead and take a picture of this and email it to their professor, submit it on Canvas, whatever their professor is requesting. Okay, so I'm going to need you to send me the link to this survey when you're all finished. So to do that, you're just going to come to the top right corner of your page and click on the purple button labeled Send. And then this box will pop up. Click on the little chain link. And then I like to shorten the URL. And go ahead and click copy. And you can just email me that link. Okay, so when everyone in the group has finished entering everything in and the survey is perfect, you've emailed me the link, then someone will need to go in and clear the responses before we start the next step, which is going to be pre-testing. So in order to clear out the responses, you're going to click on the Responses tab right next to the Questions tab in the middle of your page there. And then you're going to come, you can see all the data here. And then you're going to come to these triple dots. And you see all of the options there. This is how you download the responses. That's where I get the data from your group evals. And click Delete All of Responses. Okay. And now you can see you have no more responses. And then you can just click Questions to go back to your survey. Alright, so if you want to kind of spruce it up a little, click on the paint palette on the top. And then you can choose an image to be on the background. There's some built-in themes, or you can upload your own. They have work and school, birthday, all kinds of stuff. All these different pictures under work and school. I'm going to just go with the Jelly Bellies, or the Mike and Ikes, whatever those are. And then click Insert. and gives it a little pizzazz. I'm gonna change the theme color, and then you can even change the font if you want. I would avoid the decorative because it's a little bit hard to see. You don't want anyone to be confused, so maybe not that one. I'm just gonna leave it on basic. Can even change some more. Look, oh, the background colors. Okay. All right, so that's how to change the theme options. And that is the end of this lab. Thanks for listening. Talk to you on the next one.